Hello, this is Eric Erdman, and you are listening to Dealing the Mobile Sound from Callahan's Green Room. And we are hoping to dig deeper into what makes up the mobile music scene, maybe talk about some history of it, maybe the future of it. And here to help us today is the one and only Miss Molly Thomas. Thank you for coming.
Hi, thank you for having me. This is a great thing you guys are doing.
We're so proud of the mobile music scene. And Lynn Old Shoes, she approached me and said, let's do a podcast. And I was like, let's do it. And I didn't know she was going to say, you be the host of it. But then she did. And I was like, whatever Lynn says
Well, it
goes.
only makes sense.
So anyway, we're happy to be here. And just to explain, in case it's a little odd, in the green room of Callahan's where we are broadcasting from, the only centerpiece in the room is a crusty old poker table. And as we were sitting around it talking about this podcast, it seemed like it wanted to be part of the idea. So we were like, well, it's been a part of the music scene as much as we have, I think. How many set lists have been written on this? Who knows? So we said, well, if we're going to include the poker table, we should just make a poker game out of the interview. So this is just a metaphorical poker game we're going to play today, and I'll explain it along the way. First up, Andy Up, and this part of the show is just about you telling us the first time you bet on yourself musically and went and tried a gig.
That's kind of hard to answer because I started gigging when I was in high school. I was in a jazz quartet and learning how to improvise then, and got paid for it. I was like, this is really cool. And then in college, was in the orchestra and had orchestra shows that paid. But, I still probably wasn't thinking about it being a career.
Well, that still counts as gigs.
It does. It really does. But, it wasn't until mid-college I started playing in folk bands. And then it turned into rock and roll bands. And was I betting on myself? I was just kind of riding with it. But I think when Slow Moses, the band I was in the 90s here in Mobile, when we split up, I decided that I wanted to kind of venture on my own and see what that looked like. And I think that was probably the first time I really bet on myself. And then I moved to Nashville and started that there. So,
well, speaking of Slow Moses, for me, I don't know if there was any other musician or group in town that mattered as much to me, because it was at a point in my life where I was just old enough to sneak into a club. So I think y'all were the first band that I wasn't at a concert with my parents. The first place I went to go see, and I just sat there and went, I want to do that at some point in my life. So it was a big.
That's so cool.
It's so cool to know you all, now as I do, and we're all friends and played a million gigs together. But that was a while back, right? And so it's anyway, it's just cool. Y'all are very influential on me, and I know I can't be the only one that feels that way. It was a lot of fun. We snuck into South Side back in the day.
Oh yeah, yeah. There weren't really a lot of bands back then, and or places to play. It's really changed a lot since those times.
Well, let's talk about that. There's songwriters to play also, and it how
kind of grew at the same time.
Yes, how do you think was one before the other, or do you remember that? Or you were in Nashville maybe during that time?
I was in Nashville. I just remember coming back and being blown away, thinking, "Wow, it's a really cool scene down here." And there are a lot of songwriters, and they're all playing original music, and they're playing out, and people are supporting them. That's a rarity. That you don't find that everywhere.
Well, that really is at the base of the idea for this podcast. It's like it doesn't feel to me, having been in a lot of places, that sure there are other music scenes. Of course, there are bigger music scenes, all over. But it's rare for a city this size to have as many quality original artists, I think, and I'm proud of it. I think the whole city should be proud of it. But it's part. I don't know 100% why that happened or how it came about. But
I don't know. But I would imagine that the support that fellow musicians give to each other around here probably plays a part into that as well, because if you're encouraged by somebody that's doing the same thing you're doing, and you're great at that, like you're an enthusiast and positive, and people need that, and it rubs off, and it gives other people confidence to jump in and do the same thing. And
well, it's easy to be enthusiastic about it, right? Because it's so much good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Well, speaking of your of the community, I guess, when you went to draw on the the roster, your lineup for the Rare Birds, there, you had some pretty heavy hitters to choose from. Like, in addition to just being a wonderful singer songwriter, your band is stellar. You want to talk about how that all came about? Or?
Yeah. So at the time, I had moved back down here, and John Milham was my brother-in-law, and we go back before the Slow Moses days. We played music together. We've known each other a long time, and so just only when I started, thinking about the idea of putting a band together, it only made sense to ask him so he was the first one I talked to. And then he said, well, I know this guy, this great guy, super nice. He's a great player, great singer, writes great songs. His name is John Kyler. He's got this gig at Veets that he's doing. Maybe we can talk him into coming to play some shows with us. So I was like, cool. And also at the time, James Womble, he was our first guitar player. And that didn't last very long because he was playing with other people. Right. And so it just didn't work out. And I had been told by several people, you've got to meet Rick Hirsch. And of course I knew who he was. And I was like, he's going to be too busy, and like, he's got too much going on. But I thought, well, I'm going to ask him, because I had a gig come up that I needed to do a duo show with in Mississippi. And I just reached out to him. I sent him an email. I said, hey, this is who I am. Here are my songs. I need a guitar player. I would love for you to be that person. And he jumped on board, and he was so generous and loved the music first and foremost. And so then he was in the band, and just all four personalities mesh. We're all kind of the same mindset. And
well, you can tell that. That's great. And speaking of somebody being encouraging, I don't know if anybody's ever been more encouraging than Rick Hirsch. He's been a brother and a mentor to me, and I know I'm not the only one. We really clearly hope to have him on an episode of this podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he speaks highly of so many people, and that's how I have heard of many of my favorite Mobile musicians and other musicians outside of the Mobile area, but I've never heard him talk as highly about any of them as he does about you. I don't know if you know that. Oh, he and he's played with, as you know, some of the best to ever do it, and I don't think he's ever been more proud to be a part of a musical endeavor than he is.
He's a mentor to me as well, and I don't know, he just, I love the guy. He's as good as it gets to me. He is.
So
he's given me lots of encouragement.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, since we're at the poker table, now that you've anteed up, let's go to the first card. Metaphorically, is the flop. So the idea of this one is there a song you can remember where you wrote it, you played it, and you love it? You can still love it. This is not a judgment on the song, but you wrote the song. You had all this excitement and knew it was magic, and you were just ready to go play it for some audience, and then you let it rip, and it was met with less than uproarious applause.
Yeah, I jokingly say all of them. Yeah, so it's really hard to say, but when you were just asking me that, for some reason I went back in my mind to some of the first songs that I wrote. There was a song I wrote called Working in Shadows, and had all these tempo changes and, all this stuff going on, and it was just too much. And I don't know, maybe that, or just It's hard to say. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's just funny because I feel like we all have those.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, I'm pretty self-conscious anyway about my writing, but
I don't know about you, but sometimes that makes me love it more. It's like, oh, y'all didn't like it? You don't get it. This is just for me then, in that case.
Yeah. But then, yeah. So I choose not to play those songs anymore.
Well, if you're going to be a professional performer, you have to go, okay, maybe that wasn't the one. I'll keep that for the living room.
Yeah.
Well, songs that are not flops. I have been listening to your brand new album on repeat, and I love it. So,
thank you.
You want to talk about it, where you recorded it,
sure,
and how it came about?
So, my friend Ken Rose, who I wrote all the songs with, he is somebody I've worked with through the years. We've written together, and we just connect in that way. And so he had been in a band for a long time. We never could meet up, and because we had always said it would be so great if we could just be in the room together and write a song instead of long distance. Mm-hmm. And the timing finally came about, and he was able to take time away and come down here. And so we just were like, okay, well, let's just set aside 2 weeks. We'll write the songs and we'll just record them, make it simple. And that was how we set out to do it. We wrote the songs. He actually stayed with our friend Tom, Captain Tom Yeager, over on the Eastern Shore on Fly Creek. And so then we were, because we were planning on just writing them at my house. I said, why would we write them at my house if we could write them right here on this porch overlooking the bay,
Right.
So that's where we wrote all the songs. And it was just, the feeling was there. And so we didn't know what we were going to write. We just kind of started from scratch.
That's so cool. I've written a lot of songs, but I've never sat down we're just going to write the project.
Yeah.
The whole project.
I know. I haven't either. So it was challenging, and I learned what patience is, as far as waiting for a song to happen and for it to finish itself. But so that 2 weeks turned into 2 years.
Well, albums always take twice as long and cost twice as much money as you think, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can hear it. That interesting that you say it now, because I would have just thought this was a catalog of songs that you maybe had been working on for years, but that's interesting that they were all together, because I could understand those being all one sit down and crush. I mean, I realized it wasn't a day you wrote it, but you know what I mean, one long session of with one focused goal.
I guess I'll have to say that a couple of songs I had started, before. In fact, several years before, and I had just put them aside. And I brought him out to show him, and he's like, "Oh, let's do that." And so
which ones?
We did that.
If you remember.
Okay, Broken Window, the Broken Window Effect, that one, and Tender Girl. I had started that one. I'm trying to think. Well, and then Crash, actually, that one happened afterward. Well, I didn't even mention that. So I had a car accident, and then after that, which was one of the reasons why the album took so long to finish, but we wrote that song after the accident, and so it wasn't in that 2 weeks of writing, or 1 week of writing.
But still, in the general sense of what I think most people just gather their songs they have finished that they're proud of, they've been playing around for any number of years. You kind of set out with the goal and finished a project. That's cool. It's like writing a musical in a sense. You know what I mean? I'm going to write this. It's all for this. And we're going to sit down and do it. Speaking of Broken Window Effect and Tender Girl, I love that. One of the things I love about this music scene is that you can get some unexpected, there's always going to be some element of singer-songwriter Americana stuff, some element of jazz or blues in there, but it's I feel like Mobile people are my favorite at bending my ear or doing something I would not have thought to do. It's inspiring and creative. And Molly is a great singer-songwriter. For those of you that listen, and that if you don't know, she's as good as it gets, and you should go check out all her catalog. But she's also a multi-instrumentalist, and she plays beautiful violin. And maybe if I were producing this, I might have missed some of the magic, because it's like sometimes there are lush violins on there, but sometimes it's very creative and interesting parts that aren't just a pad in the background that sound pretty behind your stuff. They're a designated part that catch my ear and go, oh, and the next time you listen, you're singing along to the violin part, as opposed to them fading into the background.
I think because it's just so much a part of me, it's just something I can't help doing and adding. But the unfortunate thing is trying to duplicate that live is a challenge.
Yeah, that's always the thing.
I'm always like, gosh, it's so boring just playing this guitar and singing these songs when I have a solo gig, because I'm thinking, okay, they're not hearing this, this violin part that's happening. But
yeah, I feel you.
anyway.
But I mean, there's something beautiful about those string parts happening in your head instead of your ears. Getting to hear the stripped down version.
Yeah.
So were those parts? Did you arrange all those parts? You put all those parts? So
yeah. I played all the violins. There were some songs with 45 strings on them, because I would stack the first violin, second violins, violas. I played viola and cello on it, and so tried to make it sound like a full string orchestra.
Well, it does. I mean, it really does. It's big.
And played different instruments. Like I had 3 different violins, because you didn't want to sound all the, those violins to all sound the same, because then it sounds fake. And so switched up the instruments within their own section.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So where did you record it? Like
at my house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The whole thing at your house. Yeah.
Except one song. Which is really interesting, because we wrote the songs at Tom Yeager's house, and we were recording at my house, but my air conditioner went out, and it was the middle of the summer. And so Tom had gone out of town, and so we asked him, is it okay if we go over to your house and record this song? And it just happened to be the song that was about him. I mean, it was so cool. Like, it gives me chills just even thinking about it. And when I listen to that song and listen to the essence of the sound of his room and just the memory of being there and it being about him, because he's such a interesting, soulful guy, that, I don't know, it just adds. It's so cool. Like, how did that happen?
It's going to make me love the song more, knowing the story behind it.
Right.
Well, in addition to just sounding good, I've always loved your lyrics too, because I don't know how you feel. This is just my opinion, but there are storytellers in songs and different things, but many times I think the listener goes to an artist because they were able to say a shared emotion that both the audience member and the artist had, but able to say it in a way that the audience member hasn't been able to get out of them. So it's almost like the artist is being the mouthpiece for the audience member. Yes, the feeling is mine. I've had that feeling. I just wasn't able to vocalize it, and that's why there's so much magic, I think, in music, or at least part of the reason. And again, the creativity and interesting ways you twist words. Like there was one that there's a lot of them that caught me on the album, but one that just made me almost pull off the road was when you said he cooks food on the stove as rare as the man he is. Is that the word?
Yeah. That's the song about Tom.
Well, there you go. So, but it's like that's just. You could say that a million ways. They say put a million monkeys in a room with a million typewriters and they'll write Shakespeare, but I was like, you could put me in a room for a million years, with a typewriter, and I never would come across that line. And that's what makes you a fan of music. It makes me a fan of you.
Well, I can't take all credit for that. Ken was part of that writing too, like the lyrics.
Well, good. Well, I'm just glad it came out
me
between
too,
the two of them.
Yeah,
that type of thing is really inspiring. So I'm happy to. So everybody, if you haven't heard already, go get Tumble Home and listen to it. Actually, we should probably play a track from it right now. You have one that you would like us to play?
Let's see. Oh gosh. Fool's Lane.
I love
It's
that
my
song.
favorite one. It's kind of my Radiohead song.
Yeah, I love that song. So here you go. From the new album, Tumble Home by Molly Thomas, here is Fool's Lane.
Running stop signs and red lights, ignoring traffic, no breaks through the night. A restless mind will keep you driving down Fool's Lane. She will do anything, giving up the wheel. Her desire for love outweighs the deal, worthy of what she gives, but gaining speed, running on empty down Fool's Lane. Fool's Lane. Cruise control, no control. Lose control, take control. Can't find the ground, way off the grid, false directions. She's lost in her skid. Roadblocks design the course. It might be time to divorce. Fool's Lane. Running out of road, running out of truth, running out of fuel, running out of time. No more dead ends. Cruise control, no
That's magnificent, Molly. I love it. One thing I love about that is, again, it goes where I didn't expect it. Like, it feels kind of pretty and lush, but then you got some blue notes in there too to keep it I wouldn't call it swampy overall, but it definitely takes
There's
it away
some ambient stuff happening, some high vocals that are kind of all throughout that you don't notice, you can't really hear, but you feel them.
I love that.
Yeah.
Some production tricks to make you feel not here. Yeah.
Feel not here. I love it.
But okay, let's go to the next part of our our metaphorical poker game we're playing, and this is the turn. So at what point did playing music turn from being just a hobby or something to make a couple $100 to maybe something that you wanted to follow more professionally?
Yeah. Probably right when I decided to join, or was asked to join, Slow Moses, which we were called something else before that, Coldwater Flat.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Coldwater Flat.
Yeah, I auditioned and I made it. Yeah, I had to audition with a Widespread Panic song. But so I made the move. I
love this. I didn't know this. I'm getting history.
Yeah. There were two songs they wanted me to learn. It was Widespread Panic.
Do you remember what they were?
Oh gosh, I can't remember, and I don't remember the other song. But Yeah, so I learned those two songs. Oh, maybe it was no, it wasn't a Fish song. Dave Matthews. It was a Dave Matthews, Ants Marching.
Okay.
And so at the time, I was living in Hattiesburg, working at a mental facility. And I thought,
You thought I already
oh
have
my
a good
God,
background to work with
guys,
musicians. No.
Yeah, right, exactly. These guys, and the reason why they knew about me to begin with is because Ryan, the lead singer, Ryan Balthrop, his brother and I had been in a band together in college, a folk band called the Picardy Three, and so he knew who I was, and so they just reached out to me, out of nowhere, and said, "Hey, we'd love for you to audition for our band." And so I was like, okay. And so I totally quit my job and moved to Mobile.
Did you say the Picardy 3 or the Picardy?
Picardy, the Picardy 3.
Picardy 3?
Yeah, you know what a Picardy 3 is?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
But are there
Most people don't know what
any
that is.
recordings of this?
Yes, there are.
I need to hear this. Maybe we should add that to the radio station.
Yeah. There's a really good good one called Bubba.
Bubba by Picardy 3. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's see. I know during your time in Nashville that you played with Todd Snider, who's like an amazing singer-songwriter. He wrote Many of Us, and got to tour a lot and be on the all the late night shows and all the big stages. And I was wondering, have you just been in touch with him the whole time? And because I know he's featured on Tender Girl on the album, right?
Yeah, I have. We stay in touch with each other.
Very
we
cool.
email each other and stuff. And I did a tour with him just I guess it was right before COVID in 2019, where I went on the road and opened up shows for him.
Very cool.
He's always been very generous and complimentary of me, and has shown a lot of love. Will promote. He told me to let him know when this album comes out, and he would put it, do something with it, with the song that he's featured on, and which I haven't done that yet. And he's got an album coming out right now, I think maybe next week or this Friday or sometime really soon. So I thought, well, now's not the time to ask him to promote that song. He's got his own stuff happening.
Right. Speaking of people being creatively, bending your ear, nobody can do it better than Todd, right? He's out there and in a great way, but I feel the same way about you, and in your own lane. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to bash the idea of genres. I understand their purpose. Like, it's easy so that people can know, if I like this, I might like this. But in general, to me, it just kind of seems like, in their essence, they're fighting the idea of making art, because the idea is you are supposed to sound uniquely like yourself and nobody else. Yeah. And by saying, oh, it's an Americana, it's a folk, it's a that, you're right.
But I know people need to categorize.
They need to categorize it. So I'm not like going to go pick it in the street to end genres. I just mean, like, when you really think about it, it's diametrically opposed to what art's supposed to be. And again, I really think that you do a beautiful job of being unique and being yourself, to where you blend beautiful and lushness with some jagged rock and roll kind of movements and melodic jumps. And there's lots of like major minor changes in your songs at times when I least expect it. And it's like, it's so refreshing and great for me that, like, I can recognize, I know it's sure. So I think I could recognize it was a Molly song if somebody else covered it, that which I think is cool. I mean, I recognize your voice, but it's like,
let's see if we can make that happen.
Okay. That might be a different podcast. Like, get somebody to cover a song, see if you can pick out who did what. That's nice. All right, let's go to the next card in the poker game, which is the river. And the idea of this segment is you're going to take somebody to the Mobile River, or any river around, I guess. You might have a special honey hole we don't know about, that you're going to go fishing. It could just be somebody you would like to spend some time with, or it could be an artist that you want to go fishing with because the car ride back home would be something, the stories they would tell would be worthwhile.
And that's a tough one because, I automatically think going fishing, Yeah, that sounds like fun. I could pick somebody's brain, and we'd have all this time together and no distractions. I would probably want to take Nico Case. I love her.
Oh yes.
She's who I'm really into right now. And
Great choice.
but then I think, well, you're supposed to be quiet when you're fishing. So then I would probably take my husband because we.
You wanted to be quiet.
No, because we're good.
Funny.
We're quiet. Like you know,
You're good at being quiet together.
you know when you're comfortable with somebody when you don't have to talk.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, or I would take my nephew who really knows how to fish. You know,
Well, look,
he could like.
There's lots of room on this pier. You could bring all three of them.
Yeah. Right. Oh, that would be kind of. No, I think Nico Case.
Okay,
I like
that's
yeah.
cool. What? So have you been listening to like her new stuff, old stuff?
She just put out a new album, I think the same day I did. And
it's real new.
Yeah, it's brand new, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I listened to it a little bit, but haven't really dug into it. Her last album that she put out before this one, you know, I'm really bad with titles and names.
It's okay.
Oh, it was called Hell On. That's a great album. But my favorite one of hers is called Blacklisted. It's one of her earlier albums.
Okay.
She's kind of started doing a country thing early on, and then she broke back into her original sound, I think, which was more indie.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I like. That again, I'm not putting genre labels on your music. I would never do it. But it's like there are elements of a lot of things. But that when I said it's a little jagged and takes me in different places, there's a little bit of that punk rock indie. At least
It's a big compliment. Thank you. I try not to. I try to make. I purposely try to make it my songs not fall into a category, but to, you know, stay fresh, stay different for myself too, you know, to keep my own interest. But I'm always curious to see what genre other people might think that it falls into, because I really don't even know. I just say indie because that's just the simplest thing to say. I don't know.
I think it's great that you don't know what it fits into, because our music scene here feels like that to me too. It's a blend, it's a gumbo of different things, and we don't just do. I can't actually think of any artists that are just like a pure genre, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Where there's just like a strictly bluegrass. I mean, there might be people playing bluegrass. There's blues artists. But there's always all this other stuff mixed in. And, you know, I think that's probably from being a port city and culturally, you know, all of those cultures are mixed, so all of the music's mixed. But I love that about it. I think that's part of what makes it so special to me, is that you can do your lush violin parts and all that stuff, but you know, you're also going to put a little, you know, rock and roll in it. Yeah, a little rock and roll in it. Well, you want to play a song for us?
Sure. You want to do this song, Sorry, with me?
Sure.
All right. So this song is about over-apologizing, which is something I'm really good at and I'm tired of doing. So I thought, well, we should write a song about that. Okay. Something wrong, 'cause I'm always apologizing. Call it empathetic shock, 'cause I'm always compromising. I'm so tired, so damn tired of being sorry, so sorry. I'm sorry. words get crossed, I raise a flag and flip the coin on your side. Somehow I make it my fault. I give people pleasing a whole new meaning at my cost. I'm so tired, so damn tired of being sorry. So sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry. So self-depleting, double teaming. I'm laughing at myself and blaming myself at the same time. The same time. I'm so tired, so damn tired. I'm so sorry, sorry for being sorry, so sorry, so sorry. I'm sorry, so sorry. I'm sorry, so sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that was so much fun to play with you. Thank you for letting me do that.
Thanks, Eric.
Now, I did the best I could to hold as many parts down as I could, but that's
Well,
clearly
that
not.
was very impressive.
That was not. That, I was not fishing for that. No
I
pun
know.
intended. I'm just saying, on your album there are these huge string arrangements, and I just want to talk about that because that's not a small feat to do. You know, with even a few string parts is beyond my pay grade. But you have a full symphony that you played and arranged, right?
Yes. Yeah. With the help of Ken. I mean, he was my sounding board. I did the parts, but you know, we would both be like, I don't know about that note. Let's try a different note, that kind of thing.
That's really cool.
Would,
And does he have any orchestral
No,
training? Or
no.
It's just from a
No.
listener, like, let's
Yeah,
try this, try
yeah.
that. That's cool. That's valuable, though.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure. But I felt like the whole time I was like, God, yeah, we were so much in the same headspace that we both would go to the same note.
Oh,
That
that's
we,
cool.
at the same time, it'd be like, that's what you want when you're
Synchronicity,
writing.
that's right.
Yeah, synchronicity. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I think I'd get lost at about the third cello. I wouldn't know what I was. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I'd rather just like this is a triad, and here we go. Let's move it around. But the parts on this album don't just do
Yeah.
that. They aren't. Just
I don't
like,
do it that way anyway. It's all by ear. I usually start off with one instrument and I work around that one instrument. Like what?
Oh, so you
what
don't
is
even
that?
have you don't have a map ahead of time
No.
that you are put. Oh, that's
do not.
interesting.
It's what the song says it needs.
So cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Because you have an ear training from your jazz and your orchestral background, but that means you're just it's wild, it's feral, it's just
It is
growing.
feral. I like
in
that
a great
word,
way. I
yeah.
mean that like
I like that.
that. You put a part down and then like, what does that warrant?
Yeah. Yeah.
So your ear
Yeah.
is trained, but as far as putting it down on staff paper, you're not notating it out.
No, I have not. I've done that in the past, and it takes me a very, very long time. And so this go round with a deadline, being involved, I've sought help. My friend Annie Bridges, who is oddly enough someone I knew in college. She was in the orchestra department with me, and John Milham put us together, and we were like, we know each other.
Milham is the great connector.
I know, but it was crazy because we already knew each other. We just haven't seen each other in a long time. And she has been a blessing with all of this because she put the players together who are going to be performing the song, the quartet. We're going to have a string quartet play the album release show with us, and she's helping me along with this other guy write all the parts out because it's a lot more complicated than I realized.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
It would be fun for somebody like her because it's not the typical thing she's doing, these arrangements, I think. Because to me as a listener, I think some of them come out of left field in the best. There's some indie rock and roll ideology in there, woven into this classical string section.
Yeah,
so I would imagine that'd be fun for her, but
it
a lot
has
of work.
It has been. She actually just injured her shoulder, so she hasn't been able to play, and so she's kind of on leave from teaching. She's a teacher, and so she's said many times, it's really great that this has happened at this time because it's giving her something to do.
Oh,
that she
cool.
enjoys. Yeah.
Again, synchronous.
I know.
Come on, this album is just meant to be, baby.
It's crazy.
Embrace it.
Go with it.
That's right. All right. Well, the final portion of our poker game is the all-in part, and that is where you get to go all in and just tell us about a Mobile area musician that we may or may not know of that you fully believe in and you would put all your support behind.
The first person that comes to mind is Emily Stuckey. I think she's absolutely amazing.
Phenomenal.
She has a voice that is like no other. It's very distinctive, and she has a heart of gold. And but she's already recognizable around here. So I think if somebody that is not as much recognizable, I think I might have to say Garrett Howell. He works his tail off. He is a hard worker. I've played on some of his songs that he's written, and he just has that determination that it takes.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's talented, and he's a nice guy.
Both of those people are on our list of people to ask, and hopefully we can get them on the podcast because I agree with you. Those are phenomenally talented people and great people. Also.
Yeah.
So great.
And Emily, actually, I'm producing a song for her right now.
Oh, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, before we, I guess, shuffle for the next episode, I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you,
I just
Eric.
love you as a friend. I'm a fan of
you.
your music, and I really think mobile music would not be the same without you. So we're all lucky to have you.
Thank you. I'm very thankful to be here.
That was Molly Thomas, and thank you so much for listening to Dealing the Mobile Sound. Be sure to check us out on all the social media platforms at Dealing the Mobile Sound. Like it, share it, and get ready for more incredible guests as we put out episodes every 2 weeks. Thank you to Callahan's, as always, for providing the space and the love to let this be possible, and thank you to Will and the Bushmen for providing the intro and outro music. And if you want to hear more music from Molly and all of our guests, check out mobilebayradio.com. Until next time, I'm Eric Erdman. Thank you for listening.